presented by Honda. With that, welcome you into the studio. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Levy. Perhaps you're familiar with the man to my right. He's back. John Tortorella is back. What are you doing here?
I got pushed here.
That's a good point. Will you be taking another job in the next month or 2 months?
Start.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk Vegas.
All right, let's talk Vegas. We'll get to your coaching future a little bit. Vegas is interesting to me, one of the perennial favorites to win the Stanley Cup, but the schedule is relentless, right? You get a Kings team that played on first night, coming off a game, going into Vegas last night. You think it's a good spot for the Golden Knights. They wound up losing last night in overtime.
Yeah,
Shootout.
up by too late.
Yeah.
Get score and lose. The 2 points I want to make, Vegas,
Yes.
and John talked about it. I can't wait to see what this looks like night in and night out, Eichel and Marner together.
With Barbashev, yeah.
God. I mean, I know Cass is going to probably have fits about on the other side of the puck.
Right.
Defense with that group, but I'm anxious to see that. And in the big picture, as you get into the grind of a 82-game schedule, going to be 84 soon, right?
Yes.
The loss of Pietrangelo. Just the person in the room, the player that he is, how that's going to affect him as they go through a long season.
Yep. You get the salary cap money, but you'd rather have the player, leader.
Vegas
what do you want to say?
gets that money, don't they?
Even if guy's healthy, they seem to get it. All right, moving on. As for the other side, I used to do games in San Jose, George. It was among the loudest buildings in the NHL. They got a young core there. There's going to be some more growing pains. I get that. But it would be great to see them turn the page in San Jose, led by that man, Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah, and he's going to have to lead the way. I think it would be great for the league for this to get going there in San Jose. Misa, although he's not playing tonight, just to see him play. I don't know why he's not playing.
Me neither. Will Smith is in there.
Yeah. I mean, and they're just kids, and they're going to all grow together.
Right.
I think Brian is a really good coach. I've had opportunities to sit down and talk with him about just philosophy. I think he's going to be a really good guiding influence for them. But you want to get it going quickly here. I think it'd be great for San Jose, and it'd be great for the league.
You got to sprinkle some veterans in there. Reeves to Foley, by the way, but nucleus, you said, they can grow together, the young guys. You have a lot of young talent.
Should be some pain.
Yeah.
But you got to handle it and just keep your head above water and keep on going about it.
It's great to have you back, bud.
Great to see you, man.
At least I'm happy about it. I don't know if you're happy about it, I'm happy about it. Now to Cassie Campbell-Packle, and welcome John Kelly to the ESPN family.
Thank you, Steve, and welcome everyone to the Shark Tank. And our Honda starting goaltender, Akira Schmidt, spent most of the year last year in the minors. He goes against Alex Delkovich, acquired from Pittsburgh the offseason for a third-round pick. And these starting lineups are brought to you by American Express and Cassie. Both teams starting their fourth line tonight.
Yeah, Cassidy looking for some energy with back-to-back, and the response by Brian Wardowski. He puts out his fourth line too, a home opener, trying to get their energy going right away, and this could be a fun start. So
Cadet, Reeves, and Goodrow against Sissons, Howden, and Colasar underway first period from San Jose. And that's dumped in by Luka Madulin. Reeves on the forecheck. Pass across Orlov, shoot it right on, and a stop by Schmidt, and early on Reeves getting down to business.
And again, the crowd loves it. Ryan Reeves out on the ice, goes after Korzak a little bit in front of the net. Good first shift for San Jose, a dump in, they get in on the forecheck, create some energy, and now we'll see some offense come out for both teams.
Of course, Reeves last year with Toronto played in 35 games. Trying to get into the skin of Bruce Cassidy's club, which lost in a shootout last night at home to the LA Kings.
It looks like Wardowski's going to try to get this Wenberg line out against the Eichel line for Vegas, who had 8 points last night in their home opener combined.
And that's fired away by the Russian Barbashev and Ferraro, their top defenseman, back to get it. Former second-round pick from UMass Amherst. Here's Olgegren's shot. That's off McNabb, I believe, and wide. And now played by Eichel, not out. And William Eklund around. Shoots it. Tipped by McNabb, the corner. And to fully knock Marner down. Sharks center it. And a shot was high off the stick of Eklund and it goes out of play.
You know, one thing Bruce Cassidy was talking to us before the game, you know, the mistakes that they made, they just mishandled the puck. And we're seeing it here early against Vegas in this game as well against the San Jose Sharks. Just some mistakes, just not crisp. And, you know, the excitement and the pressure that is around the team and how well they're going to do this year, it just looks early. They just don't have their A game as of yet.
Vegas playing their first of 12 back-to-backs, and you know, Cassidy said to us, you know, sometimes early on a team is better on its second night in a back-to-back. Cassie?
Yeah, and especially if you lose, right? We saw that from LA. They lose their home opener, come out and beat Vegas, and then Vegas loses their home opener, and they want to do the same here to the Sharks. As Will Smith bounces it down, handled by number 6, Caden Korzak. And now the Golden Knights send it in. By the way, no Noah Hanna tonight for Vegas. He played last night banged up, and he's listed as day-to-day. He's replaced by Ben Hutton on defense. Yeah, you just hope that that's not long-term with the Pietrangelo news to start the season where he's not going to play for the rest of the year. Hanifin is going to have to play a big role for Vegas. As Hurdle, the former Shark, gets it in deep. And Muka Madulin on to center, number 51, Colin Graff. Here's Orlov, picked off by Hurdle. He'll dance in, and he's rocked by Orlov at the line. Good open ice hit there. And now Orlov again, signed as a free agent. Long-time Cap. Now Skinner centers it. That knocked away by the goaltender Shed. And now Dellandrea in tight. And picked off by the veteran Brandon Saad. He banged it out, and the Golden Knights make a change. The defense looks a lot different for the San Jose Sharks this year than they did last year. They got 3 veteran guys back there, and teams are going to have to watch out for Orlov in particular. And a shot by Sissons, a long-time Pred. That's handled by Nedeljkovic. And now Reeves at line sends it in, not very deep. McNabb. And then hoisted to center ice by Theodore. Colasar. Good 14 winger. In there with Brett Howden to back. Mishandled a bit by Lozon. Shoots it. And goes wide. Tipped out of play. And we get a whistle. So again, Tomas Hertl, longtime Shark, 11 years here. Big hit. Orlov just steps up, leads the puck first, shoulder to chest, and right after that, Hertl got up and went right back after his partner, Muka Madulin. And here's the latest chance for Vegas. Nice first save by Nedeljkovic. And of course, Hertl, 11 years here in San Jose. 32 goals last year, including 14 on the power play. And last year, Vegas had the second best power play. And my senses are, Cassie, the Golden Knights are going to have a good power play again. Yeah,
you think?
I think so. And, you know, once Marner becomes a threat, he plays the top of their power play at shooting from the top. He's got 2 great flanks. I think it's even going to be more dangerous. It just takes some time to figure everything out.
Marner out there with Eichel and Barbashev in this line. Collaborated for 8 points last night. Here's White Cloud. Hutton shoots it right on. Handled by Nedeljkovic. And then Barbashev. Ferraro trying to work it along. And Eklund in on center ice. As Winberg spins around. Now center. Right on. Eklund, I think, tipped it. And a good save by Schmidt. Had to be alert.
So Eklund on this line with Wenberg and Toffoli here. And they create a really nice chance. This is what the Sharks are doing. They're keeping it away from Schmidt. Good choice on their dump-ins. And Toffoli just a quick puck movement towards the net. And Eklund was there, comes speedy down the middle, gets a piece of it. You can see him checking his stick just to feel like he got all of it.
But the goaltender Schmidt had to be alert. Again, last year played 30 games with Henderson, only 5 with Vegas. Now Theodore And the captain, Mark Stone, on for Carlson, an original misfit. 1-4 remaining from their first year. And McNabb and Carlson again. And Will Smith under pressure from Carlson. And one of those veterans you referred to, Nick Leddy. He was picked up on waivers in the summer from St. Louis. Leddy had all kinds of injury problems last year. Played the first 4 games that had an upper body injury. And basically Leddy missed 2/3 of the season with that upper body injury. Now Riley Smith trying to walk around Klingberg. And he can't make a play. And Dorothea with a hat trick last night. 3 goals in the second period. Sharks try to center. Hurdle does. And then Saw couldn't pull the trigger. Lozon. And across. And a high wrist shot by Korzak. And that missed the target. Smith trying to clear it. Kept in by Lozon. Now Saw to hurdle. Lozon. And that was blocked by Smith. And he broke his stick and throws it down. And Saw trying to nudge one around. But that's picked off. And played all the way down by number 96, Philip Kurashev, a former Chicago Blackhawk. As Knights have their first pressure of the evening. Now Sissons trying to bust in there, but he was checked, and Orlov again in possession. Now Howden gets it back. And the Sharks break it up. 5:20 gone, first period. Shot 2-2, no score. Delandry saves it. Rebound, Skinner scores! Skinner, top corner, 1-0 Sharks.
Well, welcome to San Jose, Jeff Skinner. A nice shot through the neutral zone. And they're just throwing pucks to net. This goes off Whitecloud skate initially. Schmid makes the first save, and it goes back again off Whitecloud, off his stick this time. And the rebound right there. Look at Skinner. Just a nice job to get that upstairs and elevate it in a hurry.
Well, he's got great hands. A 6-time 30-goal scorer. Last year, for the first time in his career, he played in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But he can score, Cassie.
Yeah, didn't have the success or the season he would have liked in Edmonton. But to get an opportunity to play in your very first playoffs, that energizes you. And San Jose hoping that energy picks up here in this season, his first season with them.
So Skinner gets the Sharks goal at 5:31. And now they look for more. As Wentberg protected well. And that was off Barbashev and back to the neutral zone. And a rare shot right on goal by Korzak. And a good stop by Nedeljkovic. As the Knights defense getting involved here. And that puck is kept in momentarily. Now the Sharks Quick up pass. Smith drops it. Celebrini fires it right on goal. And a good glove save on Schmid on Celebrini. Good start for the Sharks. Good start for Skinner. Sharks uniform. His first of the year. ESPN Plus Hockey Night is presented by Honda, proud partner of Team USA.
The three guys playing in this game from the 2015 NHL draft. Of course, Noah Hannafin not in the lineup tonight. It's Ben Hutton that takes his place. He's listed a day-to-day, but did not make the trip here to San Jose.
But Marner is in uniform, his first road game with Vegas. Now ready for the veteran Klingberg. Shot got through, and a pretty good glove save there by Schmid.
Well, John Klingberg with a nice shot, and one of the veterans that have been added to the Sharks blue line. And you know, the big thing for them last year, I covered them a lot, they just could not get the puck out of the zone. And you think of Orlov and being the partner of Madulin, just settled the youngster down, and you can already see they're moving the puck much better out of their zone than they did last year.
Yeah, the Sharks gave up more goals than any other team last year. Center pinballs off the stick to McNabb, and that was close. And now McNabb. And then Theodore trying to escape before checking if Skinner was scored the only goal tonight. Now Dorofeev hurdle right on. He's saved by Nedeljkovic, and we get a stoppage.
And just going back, John, to the D for the San Jose Sharks, you know, you're giving your young goalie a chance, Yaroslav Askarov as well. You needed to provide better defense in front of him. You know, you finally give him an opportunity to play in the NHL. So that was an important thing for the organization, and they couldn't have that same group last year in front of their goaltender. Not playing tonight, but expect to see him in the lineup soon.
Now the face-up between Hurdle and Adam Gaudette, former Hobie Baker winner of Northeastern. McNabb with it, and that comes to center, and then back in. That is an offside.
The early face-offs going to Vegas. You see a big win there by Hurdle. And the depth that they have down the middle with Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, Tomas Hurdle, Colton Simmons, all veteran guys.
And a look, of course, at 37-year-old Ryan Rosofsky, the youngest coach in NHL. How about his spring last year? Coached the U.S. to the gold medal at the World Championships. Their first gold since 1933. 92 years.
Incredible.
And Howden darts in for the Golden Knights, wide open in front, and he scores! One of them by Howden, uncontested, ties the game at 1.
Just the patience off the half wall by Brett Howden, fourth line versus fourth line. Nice job by Vegas keeping it in, and just watching the seam just opens up right here. Little hesitation, drops the defender down to his knee, and he just keeps going far side and untouched. Then he had Kozar there, who was wide open as well, as Orlov gets caught having to try and cover two guys. But they do a nice job initially just keeping the puck in. He keeps his feet moving and just drives it to the far post.
Well, Howden, who had a career high of 23 goals last year, with a great power move, ties the game at 1 at 8:09.
You know, this really might be one of the best fourth lines in the NHL. They bring some scoring touch. They're physical. They can all skate. They're going to be dangerous.
And speaking of dangers, a shot by Eichel. And that is everything now. Eichel, hard pass back, kept alive by Theodore. And then Barbashev's feed gets by Theodore at the point. And the Golden Knights have to retreat, so it's 1-1 with 11:25 to go in the first period. Kolasar and Hutton get the assist on the goal. Now the Knights try to move it ahead. And that would have been a hand pass. Stone let it go. Smith with it, shoots it. That's off a stick, and it goes in the glove of the goaltender Schmidt. These are the featured upcoming games on the NHL schedule. The NHL Network Saturday matchup has Blackhawk hosting the Canadiens at 7 Eastern. And the first game of our ESPN Tuesday doubleheader, Lightning Caps at 7. And TNT's Wednesday doubleheader is Panthers Red Wings, followed by Blackhawks Blues. Lots of great action early on in the NHL, the 108th season of NHL hockey. As the Golden Knights attack again. Stone for Carlson. To the middle. That was blocked. Good play by the youngster Will Smith, who settles it. Now the Sharks lose it at the red line. Here's Carlson right in front. Tipped on goal. Maybe off a sharp player. And covered by Nedeljkovic.
And the Vegas Golden Knights last 5 minutes starting to have some jump, a turnover in the neutral zone, and they just get on their horse the other way. Great odd man rush situations, and it is Celebrini's stick it goes off of as Carlson tried to get across to Riley Smith, and Celebrini a good defensive play. And that's not the issue with this young man at all for such a young player. He is a two-way hockey player already in his young career. Got an opportunity to learn from Sidney Crosby a little bit, the World Championships this year for Canada. What an experience that was for him.
And a high shot by Saad. And that goes off the glove of the goaltender Nedeljkovic. By the way, Celebrini only played one preseason game. The Sharks said he had an ailment. So that's a bit unusual for a young player, but he is back.
What keeps you motivated at this stage of your career?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Tomas Hertl went off, and it gingerly with his skate, it thought maybe he got cut or something, but it looks like he might have just broken the lace of his skate, so getting that fixed up. But he went off kind of gingerly.
But obviously stays on the bench and should be all right. Midway through the first period. Skinner for the Sharks, Howden for the Golden Knights. Now Marner. He's balled in the corner. And then drilled around by Nab. And not out. Now Barbashev trying to escape. Two-time Stanley Cup winner Barbashev hits the line. Sharks are back. Now Martin with it. Right in front. Tip wide by Theodore. And the penalty coming up. Eichel perhaps with high stick. Attackers for Vegas. Hutton around. Eichel centered it. And now Marner for Stone, who jumps onto the ice here as the sixth man. Stone gets it. And the captain, a slap pass. Knights keep it alive. And now an errant pass picked off, and Our first penalty of the night.
San Jose penalty, number 85, 2 minutes, high sticking.
So the Golden Knights, with their lethal power play, they will go to work as Eichel takes the high stick. And what the score?
Hey guys. Mitch Marner, his family. Hey everyone, how you doing? First time, let's go. Woo! Here we go. Woo!
And that was big off-season acquisition trade as Marner goes from Toronto to Vegas and then signs. And one thing Bruce Cassidy mentioned to us is just how quickly he sees plays, and that's what his teammates are going to have to get used to. So skilled.
Our SAP coaching insights. And Marner, he can buy a lot of baby formula. 8-year deal, $96 million.
And he's worth every penny. And I think coming to this organization, getting out of the spotlight a little bit, Toronto, I think he's going to excel.
So the Golden Knights on the power play. Last night, 2 for 6 against the Kings, although they did give a shorthanded goal. To the line to Marner. Now Eichel, one-timer that missed by about a foot and kept alive by Marner. And now Dorofeev, who has a wicked one-timer. He plays his offside. And then Stone to Eichel. Hurdles in the slot. Turner gets it. Check, though, good play. That was Graf who knocked it away. And Logeren comes back in, and that shot goes high off the glass. And the Golden Knights fly back to center. Eichel up the middle. Check by Goodrow. In on goal. And Djokovic had to be alert, and it comes out.
And that's one thing you will see against Vegas, knowing they have a forward back there high at the QB position. They're going to attack every opportunity, the position, and see if you get a forward playing defense, if you'll get more mistakes.
By the way, referee Garrett Rank has left the ice surface, so one referee and 2 linesmen at this point. Not sure what happened to Garrett Rank.
Yeah, Frederic Coulier is going to be doing it all on his own.
And now Eichel on this Vegas power play. 35 to go. Shot blocked by the veteran Goodrow. And Marner has to hustle back. Swing it ahead to Hurdle. Down the wall. And checked again by Graf, who's made 2 good defensive plays on this kill.
I watched Graf last year, and I was really impressed. He had a stretch where he had 7 points in 12 games. He brings a ton of speed. He's physical, has a good shot. I think bright future for San Jose.
Now the Knights center it. And broken up. Last year, the Golden Knights, again, their power play 20.3%, second best in the league, and the best power play percentage in their franchise history. No shots at power play. And now Eklund comes in. So the score remains 1-1. Eklund trying to get free. Theodore, that shot not much on it. Theodore Howden, and then Carlson, and that was hit well wide, kept alive by the veteran McNabb. So nothing doing on the biggest power play. Here's Celebrini, bank pass, great creativity. Smith shoots it, and a stop there by Schmidt. What a pass by Celebrini. And now the Knights come in. Colton Sissons. Long-time Pred at the line, Lozon shoots it, stopped in front, and Nick Leddy calm there and settles it, plays it back to another veteran, John Klingberg.
The crowd, you can hear them a little rowdy in here. They're recognizing the talent that they're watching on the ice for San Jose. Nice play there by Celebrini and Smith.
As Gaudette races in against Dorofeev. And Hurdle scoops one to center. And then bang back in. Blows on. Takes a hit from Reeves. Now Gaudette, a shot. And that's tipped just wide. Of course, Reeves, the son of former CFL All-Star Willard Reeves, who was a running back in the Canadian Football League. So Lane chose hockey, but Cassie, he can hit like a linebacker.
And good friends of my friend from Hockey Night in Canada, Gatto.
Yep. Now the Knights turn it over to Foley with it. Wide open. And a save by Schmidt. As the Golden Knights gave it away, and to Foley, the veteran, with a great chance.
Well, after a huge penalty kill by San Jose, they get some chances that go the other way by their fourth line. But it's 1-1 here in the first.
And again, Garrett Rank has left the ice service, and our rule analyst Dave Jackson, former referee Dave, what's the protocol now with one referee?
Well, John, this coach is old school now. The referee's got to go end to end. So I know Freddie could do it, but it's been a number of years before he's had to do it. What you'll see here is the linesman will go in and cover, like on a breakaway or something. You always want somebody at the net. Freddie has to chase the play all night long. He follows play. So what might suffer is the standard. It won't be quite as tight. You don't want referees guessing on little pokes or little slashes. So the standard will be a little bit looser. Both teams will accept that, and they'll play on.
Thank you, Dave. And a lot more skating for Freddie with Garrett Rank.
And I love Dave's point about both teams will accept that. And the referees went to both benches as it happened to say, hey, this is what we're going to have to do here. And that communication goes a long way.
And a whistle here, 4:42 to go, first period.
I thought Vegas has looked better as this period has gone on, and that's maybe to be expected. A little bit of a slow start for them after playing last night at home versus LA. And I got to tell you, I did about 12 San Jose Shark games last year. This is a different team. They're much better than they were last year, and that's good news for this organization.
Again, Ryan Warsofsky's second year. We asked him the goals this year. He said, well, win more games to start and develop those young kids. Clearly, they're in a rebuild, but when you have 5 of your own first-round draft choices on your roster, you know the future is bright.
He knows the situation he's in too and what the expectations are, but internally his expectations are win to the playoffs, win games. I mean, that doesn't change.
And a shot by Colasar. Yeah, we're in the winning business, aren't we, Cassie?
It's so true.
And it comes around Hutton again. Hit there by Reeves. Reeves, a former Golden Knight on the original team that went to the final back in 17-18.
And Mitch Marner actually talked to Ryan Reeves. How is Vegas before everything went down? And obviously he said some amazing things, but he helped convince Marner and his family that Vegas would be a good place to play.
Now saw it around. Dorofeyev nowhere to go with it. And then Theodore mishandles it. Dorofeyev again. He had 35 goals last year for Vegas. And again, hat trick last night, his 3rd career hat trick. Dorofeyev trying to get to the front. He does. And a shot, and that goes off the glass. If you're the Sharks, you can't let him shoot from there, Cassie.
You have to take his stick for sure. Even if he gets a step on you, you've got to find a way to negate that shot. He likes to go upstairs, but his release is so quick.
A career high 35 goals last year, 52 points. Theodore put out by Skinner, who has scored the Shark goal. How did it score for Vegas as both clubs make changes on the fly? Fairly even for a period. Shots are 10-9 for the home team. And Kurashev forced back to center by White Cloud. And Eichel centers it. And then Marner for Barbashev. And that failed to clip. Kept in. White Cloud a shot. And Eichel held up by the Swede Liljegren. Another long-time Maple Leaf. And a scrum on the wall. Knights have all 3 forwards there. Barbashev trying to center to Marner. Checked. And Philip Kurashev chips it in. Celebrating a hit on Lozon. And now a feed by Eichel. Intended for Barbashev. Back in front. And Eichel puts it high. Late on his shift. Probably ran out of gas. And he goes off on a line change. And Dmitry Orlov turns it over right in front. Barbashev gets stopped by Nedeljkovic. What a chance there. And Barbashev wants a penalty. No call made there. Icing against San Jose.
Orlov wants one too. He feels he might have been hooked. Macklin Celebrini with a hit on the forecheck. A little bit of cross-check to the numbers. No call on that play. And then it leaves this Eichel chance. He puts it high over Nedeljkovic. And then a turnover leads to this latest chance by Vegas. Watch this play right here. Orlov, he feels he was hooked. And Marner takes the puck and sets up Barbashev in front.
So we wanted a penalty. Barbashev wanted a call. No calls.
And
we remain at full strength.
And going back to Dave Jackson's point, one official, you know, you're not going to see as much.
Old-time hockey,
there we go.
As that goes off the glass and into the crowd. Packed house tonight here at the SAP Center. Sharks, their 35th year, started back in '91. The Cassie, they missed in 19. And now Garrett Rank is back, so that's great to see. Back to 2 refs and 2 linesmen. And it passed by Letty, and that was broken up, but it's offside at the Vegas line.
And Drew Cassidy, you know, he's an intense coach after the loss last night. He, you know, move on. Here we go, back to back. said, hey, we just mishandled the puck a few times, and it just seemed like when those things happen, it ended up in the back of our net.
Now in his 4th year behind the Vegas bench, of course, led them to the Stanley Cup back in 2020. Good stick there by Carlson. And then Klingberg gives it right back. Carlson.
One of Bruce Cassidy's big things this year for Vegas, he wants them to get more pucks to net, and they have 4 lines that can do it.
And Mark Stone deep in his own zone, hoisted out. It's over the head of Smith. Sharks pounce on it. Klingberg, good offensive-minded defenseman. Now to Foley, trying to center. That hit echoes wide. Klingberg, and then Lay fires it to a screen, and that just missed. And the Knights, a long pass by Smith to Foley, knocked down by Theodore. Fans not happy with that, but no ball.
So Foley went for the big hit, and Theodore saw it coming.
And that is the end of the first period here in San Jose. Good hockey game so far.
Shots on goal for the first period for the Golden Knights.
And here's what the fans were fired up. You can see Toffoli has Theodore lined up, and Theodore just steps out of the way at the last second. And I think the fans thought there was a trip there.
So Skinner for the Sharks, Howden for Golden Knights, 1-1 after 20. We head back to Steve and John in our studio.
All right, John Kelly, thanks very much. That was a fun first period.
SAP Center along with Cassie Kimball Pascal. I'm John Kelly. Golden Knights and Sharks are tied 1-1. Fun first period, Cassie.
Yeah, it really was fun, and especially for Jeff Skinner, who's the newest member of the San Jose Sharks. He gets on the board first in this hockey game, and it was just a nice breakout play. You can see the difference in the San Jose Sharks this year getting out of their zone. Delangia just comes up ice to the neutral zone. He gets a couple of whacks at it, finishes it upstairs on the second opportunity, put the Sharks up 1-0, and then a turnover. Brett Howden just goes the other way, good patience, drives the far post right through the middle of the ice, and he ties this game for Vegas.
Our powerful connections brought to you by Verizon. So ready for period number 2. Again, fourth line. And against fourth line, ESPN Bet is the official sportsbook of ESPN and an official partner of the NHL. And that's lifted in by Colton Sissons. Luka Badulin under some pressure from Kolesar. Comes around, Lozon trying to pinch, he does. And now the Sharks escape, but Goodrow lobs it down the ice. Caden Kordak. Second round pick in 2019, kept alive by Goodrow. And he's balled in the corner, nowhere to go. At the lane, Liljegren. And then Goodrow to Reeves in front, shot. And blocked by Lozon. Reeves knocked down, gets back to skates. Eklund back. Around the horn it goes, Ferraro in front. And a good stick there by Brett Howden. And now the Knights can make a change. Long change here in the second period. Tracked down by Toffoli. Former Cup winner with the LA Kings. And that's poked by Barbashev and out to the neutral zone. And the Swede Liljegren rocked by Barbashev. And Eichel flies in. And Eichel to Marner. Deals it back. Theodore shoots it right on. Stopped by Delkovich. Knights have that top line on the ice. And lifted down the ice by Ferraro. And not far enough for Rossi. Eichel trying to tip, he does. A race for it. Klingberg gets there first. And that's an icing call.
Well, Mick Marner with a nice setup there in the offensive zone. And that's one thing about this organization. They're not afraid to make big trades and deals. And bring in big name players. Look at the notable trades in Golden Knights history. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Noah Hannafin, Thomas Hertl, and now, of course, Mitch Marner.
And they've had a lot of success, as we know, in Vegas. 9th year, they made the playoffs 7 times in 8 years. The final the first year. They win Cup in 23. They have been a model franchise, to say the least.
And their ownership wanted a cup within the first 5 years, and they got it.
Yes.
And they want to be successful every single year. Not that ownerships don't, but they just seem to make it work here.
Yeah, Bill Foley wanted his cup, he got one, and now they want another one. And you got to think that Cassidy's club is one of these favorites, speaking of betting, to win the cup this year.
Yeah, no question about it. And Bruce Cassidy, a great coach. And he's not worried about this top line either, who they match up against, because not only are they good offensively, but they're really good defensively as well. That's a luxury to have in your #1 unit.
Face off to the right of Schmid. Golden Knights won 60% of the draws in the first. Eichel, who's tossed here, won 5 of 6. And Marner wins back for McNabb. Theodore hit for Eichel. Looking for Marner. And that was broken up by Leddy, and the play goes offside. Still 1-1 here at the Shark Tank.
When Riley Smith came back last year, I was in Vegas when it happened, and everyone was so excited. And they knew the instant chemistry that he was going to have with William Karlsson. And it didn't really work out in New York and Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if he was expected to do much. People thought maybe he would score a little bit more. But on this third line, or so-called third line for Vegas, he fits in seamlessly.
And Orla falls down, and we get a call from back referee. A cross check.
Vegas penalty, the 71, 2 minutes, cross-checking.
And this line of Karlsson, Smith, and Stone, they struggled a little bit in game #1, combined for a -7. And well, then why didn't Celebrini get a call earlier in the first period against Lausanne? It looked pretty similar, and Karlsson's not too sure of the call either, with a smile.
So the Sharks get their first power play of the evening. Last year ranked 26th. 18.6%. Last night, Vegas 0 for 1 on the kill against the Kings. As Eichel wins the faceoff from Celebrini. And Eichel off the glass, and a good play to clear it. Klingberg back to get it. On with Celebrini, Smith, Ekman, and Toffoli. Smith darts in. And pulls up against McNabb, who forces the turnover. And now Marner glides in. Good pass, Theodore. And a shot goes by the right ear of Nedeljkovic. Sharks come back quickly. Dropped off for Ekman. And now for Smith and Toffoli. And Toffoli shot blocked by Theodore, and that goes out of play.
Tonight's Power Play is presented by Power Business Technology. Copiers and printers.
And Shea Theodore, another one of those defensemen that's going to have to step up in the absence of Pietrangelo. And now Hannafin is out this evening as well. Just a good stick there on Toffoli. A nice read. He can play, you know, we know the offense that he can bring, but I think in the last few years, the defensive side of his game has really improved as well. And Bruce Cassidy going to have to play him in some more defensive situations this year.
Yeah, you've mentioned Pietrangelo a few times, Cassie, and we'll talk about it a bit more, but he is out for the season. And a bad hip, and of course, a 2-time Cup winner. That is a major loss to the Golden Knights.
And I think at this point, John, you just hope that he can potentially come back and play. It seems like it's going to be something that is going to linger for quite some time.
Now Orlov puts it back. And Wenberg to Skinner. Wenberg tough angle. Forced all the way back by Lozon. And then Gaudette. Strong on the puck. Sharks keep it alive. To Skinner. Wenberg tough angle. Forced all the way back by Lozon. And then Gaudette. Strong on the puck. Sharks keep it alive. And at the line, Kurashev to Skinner. One-timer by Orlov, and he drilled that wide and kicked away by Brandon. And now Orlov hoisted ahead, but somebody's offside at the offensive line.
And 1 second left in the Vegas power play. Is Orlov part of this power play unit for San Jose, and the puck just rolls towards him, and so he doesn't get all of it and ends up almost clearing the zone as he misses the shot far side. Stanley Cup winner with Washington, 2-year, $13 million contract on July 3rd, and that's a big acquisition for the Sharks as they try to insulate their defense and help out a young goaltender of the future.
Played last year in Carolina. No shot to the power play for the Sharks. And this goes out of the rink with 15:15 to go in the second period.
And I think Orlov, too, playing on his left side, excuse me, on his right side as a left-handed player. It's the first time he's done that since back before his NHL days, but he's going to play that side so that Mook Hamadulin, the youngster, can play the left side. So just another little thing the veterans helping bring to the San Jose Sharks.
Face-off won by Dellandrea. Klingberg, he dangles out high on Saad. And now Nick Leddy there. Former first-rounder by the Minnesota Wild. That's chipped around by Korzak and played by Leddy again. Off to Landry's stick. Tight checking here in the second period. And now it's Hurdle getting a piece. No icing. And a good pass to the corner now for Leddy. Aaron pass picked off. And the Golden Knights and Dorofeev. And then Saad under some duress. And a delayed penalty again on Vegas. And the Sharks to the power play for the second time in this period.
I think it's going to be Hurdle on Dellandrea. You could hear the Sharks bench complaining about it from here.
So it is on Hurdle.
Vegas penalty, number 48, 2 minutes boarding.
So we went through a sequence where there wasn't much called with the one official. Now there's two, and I think the fact that the arms come up high and into the numbers and into that head area, the officials are going to make this call every time, and the Sharks go back to the power play.
Well, Hurdle doesn't like the call. He's in the box.
I've yet to meet a player that goes to the box liking the call.
Yeah, you don't often see a player pat the referee on the back and say, nice call.
And
Celebrating on the face-off.
The Golden Knights don't take a lot of penalties. Last year, they took the least amount of penalties. We've seen them take a couple here in the second.
And last year, their penalty killing only ranks 26th in the league at 75.7%. Celebrini darts in. In front, Smith. Toffoli wide open. And what a save by Schmidt. And some great passing there by the Sharks. And across Toffoli in the dot for Celebrini. Toffoli, one-timer, and that goes off the glass. A couple of good looks for the Sharks. On this power by Celebrini. And fakes the play. Another call coming up. As Nedeljkovic goes off, they're going to get a 5-on-3. They should give the puck up. Now they do. Interference is the call.
Number 93 Vegas got a minor for slashing.
Well, earlier in the sequence, Marner felt that Will Smith was holding his stick as they had collided. And there you can see the little slash to the hands of Celebrini. A big opportunity here for the Sharks.
A 5-on-3 for 68 seconds in a 1-1 game. It's Wenberg, Smith, Kurashev, Celebrini, and Klingberg. Great chance for the Sharks. They win it. Celebrini gets it back from Smith. Now Klingberg to the middle, shoots it off the arm of Schmidt. Recaptured by Celebrini. To the back, Klingberg, Celebrini fakes the one-timer, now shoots it and missed everything. Carlson can't clear it. Klingberg again. One-timer, rebound, they score! Wenberg, I believe, tipped it in. A power play goal by the Sharks.
Well, some nice switches up top by San Jose between Celebrini and Klingberg. They get to their one-timer side. This is a difficult play for Klingberg to pick up this puck off the boards, sets up the flank, and you can see the initial save goes off McNabb. As he goes down to block that shot, it goes right to the stick of Wenberg. As Schmidt had gone down in the butterfly, just couldn't get back across in time.
So the shot by Eklund blocked, and Wenberg is there to knock it in. 2-1 Sharks. And now a 5-on-4 power play for 120. As Gaudette leaves it for Orlov. Skinner, right in. Gaudette can't shoot it. To the back. Orlov, one-timer blocked by Stone. And the Golden Knights and Howden chop it down the ice. So Wenberg gets the goal from Eklund and Klingberg on a 5-on-3. Wenberg had 10 goals last year. Second year in San Jose. Orlov back to get it for the Sharks. This building is buzzing again with the home team up 2-1. Now Kurashev ahead. And Toffoli backtracks. Here comes the 19-year-old Celebrini. Former Hobey Baker winner. Smith sets up. Here's Klingberg to the middle. Right on, and a save by Schmidt.
I like the patience by Klingberg. They're just waiting for his forwards to get to the net, create some type of screen. But watch Wenberg in front, just battle level, getting that left-handed shot wide open. Yet you get the rebound. You can see Schmidt just has no chance after it goes off McNabb. He's thinking that puck from Eklund is going to get through. It doesn't, and he just can't recover back to his right.
You know, sometimes you shoot the puck, Cassie, and it creates chaos, and that's what happened there.
Anything can happen for sure. You got to get it to net. But I love Klingberg's presence on this #1 power play unit for the San Jose Sharks.
So the goal by Wenberg from Eklund and Klingberg. And they go in the power play. And the Knights win the face-off and drive it down the ice. And Klingberg with it. Here comes Leddy. He'll march ahead. So Marner is back. And it's 2-1 San Jose. Kept in Smith. Celebrini shoots it. Good chance there. That was blocked. And now that's iced by Jack Eichel.
Sharks fans, attention please.
The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game. Off-the-ice player content you won't find anywhere else. The most NHL Edge advanced stats and ways to catch up on the game how you want, when you want. Hockey is better on the NHL app.
Shots 14-11, San Jose a 2-1 lead. Midway through the second period. Off the draw. Eklund back. Ferraro. Kept wide by Marner. And then Eklund again. And now Ferraro to the net. Got through. And a save by Schmidt. That was a tricky one. Kept in by Liljegren. And now lifted ahead by the Golden Knights. All San Jose at this point in this game.
Yeah, they've really gotten some momentum from this power play time.
Delandry around. Mario Ferraro. The longest tenured Shark at the line. Liljegren whips it wide. Now Eklund right in front. Off skates. Off Graff. And the Knights get it. Lifted ahead by Marner. And now Barbashev, a hard hitter, comes in to Hurdle, to Dorofeev, and makes a pass, and now the Sharks in front lose it. Dorofeev was there, but it goes by him to center ice.
Boy, he was wide open in that slot area. Barbashev just missed him with the pass.
And lifted by Nedeljkovic off the glass and back into Golden Knights ice. And a pass by Hutton ahead, snared by Hurdle. And he goes wide on to Foley. Hurdle shoots it, blocked by Liljegren. And that goes into the crowd. So the Sharks, a 5-on-3 power play, and they capitalize. Wenberg on the rebound makes it 2-1 San Jose.
Welcome back, everybody. Arnold Cal with a studio update. The Avalanche hosting the Utah Mammoth, new name this season, tied at 1 in the third. Avs power play, Nathan McKinnon from Cale Makar and Marty Necas. 2-1 Colorado in the third, John.
Thank you, Arda. How many times are we going to hear that? Makar to McKinnon.
I know. I got to watch the Avs in LA the other night. I got to do that game, and man, he just turned it on in the second period. Nathan McKinnon did.
By the way, the Golden Knights had the first shot of the second period, but since then they've been outshot 7-1. And now outshot 16-11 in the game and trailing 2-1. Puck in the Sharks' end. Orlov trying to clear it. Ryan Reeves will. And Korzak. That's off Howden. He has scored the Vegas goal. And bounced in deep. Orlov, good play around. And Mukamadulin. Chopped by Goodrow. In behind the Vegas goal. Goodrow trying to center. And kept alive by Mukamadulin. Now Hutton trying to escape. And off the window and back to center ice. Here's Wenberg for Orlov. Grab by Toffoli. He'll bounce it well wide. Eklund looking for Toffoli in the corner. Here's Klingberg. And that handcuffed Nick Leddy a bit. And now moved ahead by Carlson. And he goes wide. Off the pad of Nedeljkovic. And the Sharks chip it ahead. As Wenberg gets it in.
That was a tough save. It shot from a difficult angle. Almost surprised Nedeljkovic, but he hasn't faced a lot of rubber lately. They're just staying mentally sharp there.
And a one-timer. Smith right on. Another shot by Carlson. Tipped off a stick. Now the Golden Knights going to work on the forecheck. Riley Smith shoots it. Stopped by Nedeljkovic and a rebound to the corner. Smith again. Now McNabb winds, fires, but he broke his stick. And Theodore trying to keep it in. He does. And Smith goes off and the puck trickles by him to center. White Cloud will settle. And the Golden Knights trying to pick up the forechecking game. Here comes Nick Leddy back. Grabbed by Graf. Played around back. Kurashev on the forecheck. And kept in by Ferraro. Lets it go. And that was maybe off the leg of Lozon, and that was close.
There's been a couple of funny bounces tonight in front of Schmidt.
Another one there off the back of the goal. Sharks keep it alive. Kurashev. And Celebrini trying to get it. He can't. Marner looks ahead for Barbashev. Behind him, it's broken up. 6:45 to go in the second. Now ahead for Marner and Eichel. Here's Eichel. Shoots it. That was blocked. Don't believe it got on goal. And then Marner spins out high. Glove down by Kurashev. And the Sharks counter. Smith picked off. And the Knights have numbers at center. Saad races in a shot. And he put that high off the glass. After San Jose coughed it up at center ice. Can't do that against this Vegas club.
Well, the D were looking for a change in the turnover at the blue line. They had to come back on and didn't have the gap.
Shot by Dorothy. Right on. And we get a whistle. 6:05 to go in the second period. McNabb had good intentions, but a broken stick at the worst possible time.
Watch. Sync. Swipe. Personalize. Now available on the ESPN app.
Well, last year a big story was the famous sleepover after a bet. Tyler Toffoli had to stay in the same hotel room as Celebrini and Smith. There you see the three of them. So why not have some fun with it? This is what the San Jose Sharks are doing tonight. Is everyone who comes into the building, you get the bobblehead of Celebrini and Smith, and then for charity you can buy the bobblehead of Toffoli. So this sleepover, I guess, that just keeps on giving. But what a funny story that was. They ordered cookies and milk, and it became quite a story last year in San Jose.
Yeah, good stuff. Here's Dorothea. And that rebound attempt goes wide. Hurdle working down low on Landria. And now it comes to Saw. Tough angle. And a good stick there by Nedeljkovic. And a penalty called here. I believe this one is on the Sharks.
Mukamadulin, I believe the officials are going to talk about it here, making sure they're making the same call.
Number 85, San Jose's got a minor for hooking.
And you can see the pressure starting to come in the offensive zone for Vegas the last 3 or 4 shifts. See Mukamadulin in the center of your screen, and he's trying to check Dorofeev, and he gets a jump on him. You see a little tug to the hands there. In the last few shifts, they've started to build some momentum here. Their power play 1 gets an opportunity.
Vegas 0 for 1 night, and 2 power play goals last night. In front, Dorofeev shoots, he scores! What passing to Dorofeev, his 4th goal of the season, and it's 2-2.
This almost looked very similar to a Vegas power play goal last night in their home opener. One of the key things here is watch Marner when he gets the puck. He drives down, takes the defenders with him, and that just opens up this 2-on-1 down low. Those high players can't get down to help negate this 2-on-1 because they're worried about Marner attacking, and that's just a perfect pass and a perfect finish. Now 4 goals in what, a game and a half for Dorofeev this season.
At his 3rd hat trick last night, 2nd most hat tricks in Golden Knights history. Only Marchessault with 5 with more, and the way he can shoot it, Cassie, he's going to get a lot more hat tricks.
I mean, he just finishes up there as his bread and butter. He just doesn't miss it very often. He gets it clean, it seems, every time so far this year.
So the power play goal at 14:22 squares the affair at 2. And all of those goals last night came in the 2nd period.
Yeah, and they needed them desperately as the Kings got off to a 2-0 lead. But it's the release there, using the defenseman as a screen. And then, of course, the power play helps. This is very similar to what we just saw here in period number 2, the 2-on-1 down low, and then another one. I mean,
so he ties the game at 14:22. Stone and Eichel get the assists. Eichel had 4 points last night. And that goes all the way down the ice. Icing call against San Jose.
So Dorofeev is going to benefit, obviously, from being on that first power play unit with Eichel and Marner. And it's going to be Barbashev 5-on-5 that you hope, if you're a Vegas Golden Knights fan, that he's going to benefit. And 2 players that have an opportunity to get some career high in points. His career high last year, 35 goals. He's hoping for more this year.
Shots now 18-17 Vegas. So after getting outplayed for 17 minutes, the Knights have come on here and tied the game. Celebrini wins the faceoff, and it gets by Leddy and back out.
And a little lesson for some of the San Jose Sharks young players. You get those power play opportunities, you get some momentum. You just can't give it back. You can't sit back because you were successful, made the game 2-1 at that point. You got to keep pushing. And they let Vegas come back in this game.
An icing call there. Well, face-off inside the NHL is back at an all-access pass with never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches. The new season streaming now only on Prime Video. Wenberg against Hurdle. And the Golden Knights control it, and here's Saad. He was signed last year after his contract was terminated by the Blues. Joining the Golden Knights, Eichel gets it, drops it, Barbashev with it. Now Theodore. That shot blocked by Wenberg. And we get a whistle, maybe a hand pass here. And we get a stoppage with 4:23 to go in the middle period. You cannot give the Golden Knights and Dorofeev chances on the power play. He will bury it. His 4th of the season.
ESPN Hockey Night doubleheader is here. Lightning strikes here. Greatness is here. The thrills here. And the stars are all here. Lightning Capitals Wild Stars on ESPN and the ESPN app.
And one thing I loved is all 5 Vegas Golden Knights during this TV timeout, they all together on the ice communicating. You got new bodies. In this case, it's Mitch Marner. And there you see more communication on the bench as well. And on this back-to-back, just trying to find that energy. And sometimes communication amongst your teammates helps bring that energy about.
Golden Knights playing their 1st of 3 straight in the road. The Sharks 1st of 3 straight at home. Toffoli check there. Liljegren shoots it. And it's off something into the netting here. And we get a stoppage.
Eklund was there battling in front with McNabb. Faceoff's going to stay inside, so they feel it went off a Vegas Golden Knight. But a nice shot from Liljegren. Gets to the middle of the ice and just lets it rip. And that guy blocks a ton of shots. Braden McNabb his entire career.
Again, an original misfit picked up in the expansion draft from the LA Kings. Former 3rd-round choice of the Buffalo Sabres. As hockey fans know, the Golden Knights absolutely crushed it with that expansion draft going into that 17-18 season, going all the way to the final. Fans wanted a call there, no call. Kicked ahead, kept in, Klingberg. Walks the line, now for Leddy. And that shot blocked by Carlson. Here come the Knights, 2-on-1. Stone and Smith. Stone, he can shoot it. He does right on, and a stop by Nedeljkovic on a 2-on-1 break. This Skinner is wiped out. Dellandrea in front. And a shot by Graff off a stick and over the glass.
What a play by Dellandrea on the offensive zone entry. It's a 2-on-1 one-way, and the transition quickly to the Sharks' chance. As you see Stone, he's looking if he might pass, and then decides, you know what, I'm just going to try and drill this and see if I can get not only a goal but maybe a rebound. But look at this play by Dellandrea. Brings 2 Vegas Golden Knights one way and puts it back across to Graff. A nice stick there by Carlson.
So good chances at both ends. We remain tied at 2. And Howden forced back now for Zach Whitecloud. Sissons leads it. Howden to the net. And the net is not free. A penalty has been called. And I would think it's against the Sharks for hooking.
This fourth line's been really good right from the get-go for Vegas. This is a line that's been really consistent.
Number 81 settles has got a minor for hooking.
Great this penalty, a lot of speed, driving to the net. And Howden, he's got his feet moving. Our goal already tonight. There you see a little bit of a slash there and a hook. Whatever you want to call it. Quick feet by Howden, just keeps his feet moving, head up the whole time. He knows exactly where he's going, tries to go far side, just hits the side of the net, runs out of space.
So the Golden Knights with their second straight power play here in this period. Dorofeyev scored in the last power play, and that is thrown down the ice by Graf. So the Knights a big power play late in the second, tied at 2. Eichel walks in. No hurdle for Eichel. Dorofeyev takes out Ferraro. Puck centered and cleaned up and worked away by Liljegren. And the Knights have to go 200 feet back in their own zone.
I think Hurdle was trying to put that puck back to the point, and it just took a funny bounce off the San Jose Sharks defenseman and ended up being a shot on net.
And an errant pass by Dorofeyev, cleared by Ferraro down the ice. And Marner back to get it. 102 points last year in Toronto. Most assists and points in his career. Eichel hits the line now for Stone. And then Marner across. Dorofeyev. Eichel to Hurdle in front. Stone. Out high again for Eichel. Now Stone on the goal line, looking for Hurdle in the bumper spot. He's covered. And that was intended for Dorofeyev. Tipped away Marner. Right in front. Bounces. And covered by Nedeljkovic.
One thing about Mark Stone is just his ability to keep the down low guy, creating the 2-on-1s down low, but he'll switch from one side to the other. And you can see him, he's looking that far side, seeing if the defender is going to be there. Dorofeyev's going to be creates a screen and another chance for Vegas.
Yeah, he's a threat on that goal line. He can score, and he is a very good playmaker. 48 helpers last year for Mark Stone. 34 left in the power play. Eichel against Delandria. And a scramble drop. Ferraro can't clear it by Marner. Now Marner shoots it, and that was a tricky one, just wide. And played all the way up down the ice by Ferraro. 20 to go in the Gaudette minor. Here's Stone knocking it down to Marner. Right in a shot off the blocker of Nedeljkovic. Stone. And then Carlson late in the power play. Stone feeds it in front. Good stick there by Graf to break it up. He's played a good two-way game, has Graf. As the Sharks kill it off. Final minute in the second.
Really smart player, Graf.
And Saad stripped by Celebrini. Golden Knights reloading. And that's tipped in by Saad. Looking for some help from Riley Smith. And then Carlson at a stick slash. He wants a call, no call. Sharks come back down the ice. And Kurashev checked by McNabb. And walked along by Saad. Trying to drop it off. Sharks intercept. And a quick up pass looking for Celebrini. And that failed to work. And Orlov fights off a check. Comes around. Saad is there in the last 10 of the second period. And Carlson trying to nudge it in front. Time running down and running out in the second. So like the first, the teams trade goals.
And it was the Sharks early with some power play opportunities that got the momentum, but Vegas has made a push here as this period went on to get this thing tied at 2. Dorofeev with another goal, his 4th of the season.
We got a good one going tonight at the Shark Tank. 2-2 after 40. We go back to Steve Levy and the coach.
All right, John, absolutely. Really good spirited game. San Jose keeps jumping out in front.
With the St. Louis Blues, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you very much, Cassie. I'll admit I have never worked before with a 2-time gold medal winner from the Olympics, so I am thrilled as well to be joined by you tonight. And we've got a good game to call here at SAP Center. Underway in the 3rd period, tied at 2. And Orlov back to get it. And Orlov hits the line, will chip it around. Gaudette is there with Reeves. Reeves has led all players with 5 hits in this game. Now Keegan Colasar. Sharks center to Foley, and that just missed. He was wide open in the slot.
I think Colasar got a piece of that. What a pass.
Goes at a play, but the Sharks get the first good scoring chance in this 3rd period.
Well, Eklund, just a heads-up play, gets in on the forecheck, catches Vegas by surprise, and there it goes right off the stick of Colasar, who has Toffoli, who comes off the ice from the bench. But Eklund right in on the forecheck, creates that, recognizes Toffoli's wide open, puts it right on his stick.
Vegas winning 57% of the face-off tonight. Here come the Golden Knights. Mitch Marner down the right flank, right on goal. Turned away, another shot by McNabb, missed by a mile and back out. And now Theodore for Eichel. Marner pops up the middle. Here he comes, shoots it, and that was blocked by Ferraro. Ferraro, their top defenseman, he's seen a lot of this Eichel line tonight, and for the most part they've done a pretty good job. Now Theodore for Carlson. Under some pressure, he'll bounce it in. Played by Nedeljkovic. Right to Smith though. Trying to center one. Riley Smith again. Now Carlson had Stone in front, and that was off a body, and we get a stoppage.
Marner attacks the middle of the ice. You can see his head up the whole way, and Ferraro just trying to reset his gap. And he gets his stick, and of course the shot goes right off his foot. You can see he was just outside the lane. He does a nice job using his feet to get back in that lane off the turnover, and felt that one a little bit.
And the Sharks control the face-off. And the 33-year-old Klingberg, Celebrini, lobs it out. You know, one thing Ryan Warsofsky told us about the Sharks club a year ago, they could not finish games. That was a problem. They had the lead 13 times last year after 2 and lost either in regulation or overtime or shootouts. So I know they're a young team, but if they're going to win more games than 20, they've got to be better in the 3rd period.
Yeah, and adding that experience on the back end is so key, and learning too and growing. You know, you go through experiences like that, you learn quickly.
Now Riley Smith broken up by Nick Leddy to the middle, cleaned up, and moved out by Celebrini. Kurashev after it, and then White Cloud around, Lozon trouble in front, and Graff was there. Off Schmidt and off the glass, good chance there. Now Orlov, and Mukamadou with a shot, another shot, the score! Orlov let it go, and the Sharks have taken a 3-2 lead.
I've liked Kurashev's game. He's created a lot. You see the first save by Schmidt, and Graf gets on his horse, gets in on the forecheck. They move it around D to D, and Orlov just decides, I'm putting this one in net. Never mind going back to my D partner. And look at that tip by Kurashev. He comes up high to be good support away from the blue paint, recognizes he has Delandria down low, and just a really good shift there by the San Jose Sharks as they were making line changes.
So Kurashev apparently with that tip. Then it's 3-2 San Jose. The goal at 2:59 on the Orlov shot. Now the Sharks come in again. Skinner to the net. Shoots it. Smith the save. Back in front. And Smith got over and covered that far post. And the Sharks are circling now with a 3-2 lead. Orlov and Bukamadulin with the assist on that go-ahead goal. And now Orlov hits Eklund for Toffoli, and then back to Eklund. Hit hard by Marner. Knights can't clear it away. Eklund again. And then Wenberg on his backhand. Twisting and turning in front. Eklund swings and misses. Kept in. Liljegren, Ferraro. Seam pass. Eklund. And he whipped on that. Sharks feeling it now. And it's Jack Eichel the other way. Dropped off to Marner in front. Barbashev tips it out of midair. And that was close. Eklund drives it down the ice. 4:40 gone by, third period. Sharks have taken a 3-2 lead. And now it's Theodore. For Smith. Runs into a couple of Sharks. And that's funneled in by Gaudette. And then Reeve follows up. To the back for Klingberg. And Gaudette trying to get away from Lozon. Centers it, no one home. Smith leads a 3-on-2 break for the Golden Knights, but what a stick by Micheletti. Over 1,000 games in his career. Good break up there, and Cassie, for the most part, this veteran Sharks defense. I say veteran because they've added 3 vets. They have played very well tonight.
Yeah, they really have. They're not intimidated by this Vegas Golden Knights team at all. Good gaps. They've had good neutral zone play, and their breakouts have been excellent.
Now Dorothea, look out. Hit by Orlov. Sharks counter. And chipped around by Orlov. And then Ben Hutton trying to move it up the far wing. Hurdle there. Golden Knights with it. Hutton off the boards. Looking for the speedster Saad. And a good play by the goaltender Nedeljkovic out of his goal. Good read there by the Ohio native. And Theodore back to get it. So the go-ahead goal by Kurashev at 2:59. Knocked down by Marner. He fans on the pass. And now Skinner, who scored the first goal tonight, hands it to the Golden Knights, and Jack Eichel up the middle. Runs into his own man in some traffic, and the Sharks come up with it. Skinner at the line. And a back-checking Marner in possession. Barbashev after it. And William Eklund away from the pressure of Colton Sissons. Liljegren for Toffoli. And then White Cloud deep in his own zone. And the Knights escape. Howden. That's picked up by Wenberg, and back in it goes. So far, Vegas Cassie not getting much of a forecheck going here in the third period.
San Jose Sharks really connected in the neutral zone, not allowing them to come through with speed. And that's a big save by Nedeljkovic. And it's the go-ahead goal by the San Jose Sharks. It's 3-2 on this one by Kurashev, his first as a Shark.
ESPN Plus Hockey Night is presented by Honda, proud partner of Team USA.
Tomas Hertl, the former San Jose Shark, a -1 in this game. He's played 12:46, 2 shots, another attempt, and a big face-off here for him and his teammates in the offensive zone. And look what he did with the San Jose Sharks, 6th in points, 2nd in hat tricks.
Spent 11 years in teal. Now in his 3rd year with Vegas. Sharks lead 3-2 here. Hertl runs a man over. Skinner hurt. No call, but they go after Hertl.
And the top hand of Hertl got up high on Skinner.
And they show the replay on the video board. Fans don't like the non-call, and Skinner obviously in some difficulty going to the San Jose bench.
Vegas penalty number 48, 2 minutes, illegal check to the head.
Well, now they call it.
You know, the officials got together. Originally they didn't call it, John, you were right, and then they got together and they did, and there's the top hand. You can see almost like a cross check to the back of the net. And Hertl's lucky that maybe more than 2 minutes wasn't called here.
Dave, that's the right call, though. Just a minor, right?
I believe so, John. This is something I don't. It's not a check to head. It's more of a cross check. It's not a malicious. It's not worth a major penalty. The only options there are a 5 or a 2. It's not a 5. I believe 2 is the right call.
Again, Dave Jackson, our rules analyst, former NHL referee. Power play for San Jose. Sharks are 1 for 3 with 4 shots. Cleared by McNabb down the ice.
That's what they called a legal check to the head.
And I think after looking at the replays, they got it right.
Yeah, they did.
Now Celebrini in there with Eklund. Celebrini around Smith in front. Klingberg wide open. Celebrini again in the dot. Shoots it. And that was off somebody, maybe McNabb, and cleared away by Mark Stone. Gives Klingberg a bit of a slash on the hip. Here come the Sharks. to Foley for Celebrini. Dropped off Will Smith. And now Klingberg waiting for a screen to develop. Smith with it. Shoots it. And that was tipped just wide of Schmid. And Stone saunters back to center ice. with 50 left in the Hurdle Minor. And whipped down by White Cloud. And the longtime Dallas Star, Gun Klingberg to center. Here comes Gaudette. Harassed a bit by Carlson, who gets it. And a good clear by the Swede Carlson. And now 20 left in the power play. So far, nothing doing for the Sharks, who lead 3-2. Gaudette. And tipped in by Wenberg. But the Sharks would have been offside, so an easy clear by Vegas. And Theodore trying to pick his way in. He can't. And that's sent down, but that's going to be an icing call on San Jose.
What keeps you motivated at this stage of your career?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Vegas got the big line out here for this offensive zone face-off. It's 5-on-5.
No shots for San Jose on that power play. Michael trying to center one. Marner in the area. And Ferraro, good play off the glass and out. And drilled around by McNabb. Here's Orlov. He's been good tonight for the Sharks. Delayed offside and now touched by Shark player Goodrow, and we get a whistle.
The Sharks lucky with that icing that they had the veteran guys out on the ice against that Eichel line, Dellandrea and Goodrow. Ferraro on the back end, that's really key. Especially at this point in the game, to have some veterans out there after an icing just to settle things down in the D zone, and the Eichel line were unable to get a chance.
So Hurdle back out to take the face-off against Dellandrea. And a scramble draw now controlled by the Sharks. Colin Graff. And getting back to pick it up is Dorofia, who has 1 goal tonight. 4 on the young season. Swept around by Nedeljkovic. And nudged to center by Jeff Skinner. No worse for wear after that Hurdle hit. Under 10 to play in regulation. Sharks goals tonight from Skinner, Wenberg, and Kurashev. Howden and Dorofia for the Golden Knights. And that's chopped away by Dellandrea. And feathered in by Graff. And both clubs make changes. Now Sissons ahead. And Kolasar. Here's Howden. Shoots it. And missed on the far side. And Howden again. And broken up by the stick of Kurashev. Not cleared, though. That was close. Kolasar to the line. Lozon right on. And a save by Nedeljkovic. On a shot by Lozon. A tight one here in San Jose. The Sharks home opener. And the home team leading by 1. Well, no points for Celebrini, but Cassie, he's been all over the ice tonight.
Yeah, he's created penalty, that one there. Gets to the middle of the ice, gets this shot off on Schmid. No traffic, no rebound. And, you know, they're all over him, Vegas is. And here's another penalty that he drew. Gets his team on a power play and then some defensive play. And, you know, that's the thing to talk about Celebrini is you don't have to worry about him defensively. Even though he's only 19 years old, he's very aware of his positioning on the ice. Big face-off here for him.
Last year, the only rookie to lead his team in scoring. Finished third in Calder voting. Off the face-off. Knights can't keep it in.
He missed 12 games, and that may have hurt the point production, but at Lane Hudson, Montreal, I mean, what a season he had.
Yeah, he scored in his first ever game against St. Louis, then was hurt, and then put together a pretty good year for an 18-year-old. 63 points. Kurashev back of the goal. And now Stone in front to Smith, a shot. That was blocked. Stone again. Another shot off the stick of Kurashev to the corner. And Celebrini wins that puck battle. Here he comes. In with Smith. To Smith. Right in front. What a save by Schmid. Unbelievable save. His best tonight. And it keeps it 3-2. That was brilliant.
That was unbelievable, that save. All started from good defensive play by Celebrini, that chance. Boy, what a save by Schmid.
Keeps the Golden Knights in it. Tossed in by Liljegren. Now Marner off the wall. And here comes Eichel. Trying to center, blocked by Ferraro. Chip near side. And Eklund off the boards and back to center. And then Eichel checked by Toffoli. And then in turn is checked by Hutton. Barbashev took the worst of that collision. And then Hutton reverses it for Zach Whitecloud. And then what a move by Eichel. Drops it off. Barbashev lets it go. And a stop by Nedeljkovic. Sharks defending against the top line. Now Marner centers, pinballs around in front, covered by Nedeljkovic.
So it's the timely saves, right, John? And this is a huge one. A good defensive play by Celebrini to create this opportunity for the Sharks. And watch the Vegas Golden Knights, they just lose sight of two players, Kurashev and Smith. They create a 2-on-0. Just a great pass, but watch Schmid. Just so focused, takes away the short side in case Smith decides to shoot and just stretches that right pad across.
Well, Kurashev, the go-ahead goal here in the third, nearly had his second. That was a great stick save by Schmid. Shot by Theodore. Partially blocked by Goodrow, who broke his stick. Knights going to work down low. Hurdle lost it to Orlov. Scooped high by Gaudette. And a bouncing puck controlled by McNabb. Now Hurdle, far side. Dorofeev flies in. Little stutter step move for Theodore. Unloads it. And a shoulder save by Nedeljkovic. Celebrini darts back to the middle. Fires it. And put that off the glass. Man, is he electric. And Graf in there against Theodore. And the veteran defenseman hoisted down. That's going to go for an icing call.
So here's the difference, John. Last year, the San Jose Sharks would be up in this situation in third period, and they'd sit back, That's not happening here tonight as we see some great opportunities from the Sharks. Here's that save. I mean, unbelievable to get across like that and also defend that short side on Smith. But the pushback here from San Jose, it's a different team.
Schmidt's dad is a karate instructor. Maybe he taught his son some quick movement like that. That was an unbelievable save by Schmid.
The flexibility to him there.
Now it's Kurashev at the line. Celebrini. Checked by McNabb. And then Colasar for Howden. 5.5 to go in the third. As Lauzon keeps it alive. Sharks trying to win their home opener. They lead by 1. Hit by Kolasar on Klingberg. As the Knights pick up the physicality here. And now Sissons hooked a bit by Smith, and he's going to get a minor. He got the stick in around the hip. And now we have Celebrini and Lozon involved. If you're Lozon, you want to skate away here.
It's going to be Will Smith here.
San Jose penalty, number 2, 2 minutes, hooking.
They had some opportunities to get it out, San Jose. Vegas continues to push back. It leads to this penalty by Will Smith. It's 3-2 with 4:58 left in the third.
Well, some of the featured upcoming games on the NHL schedule. The NHL Network Saturday matchup has the Hawks hosting the Canadiens at 7 Eastern. The first game of our ESPN Tuesday doubleheader. Lightning Caps at 7, and TNT's Wednesday doubleheader is Panthers Red Wings, followed by Blackhawks Blues. Golden Knights are 1 for 3 on the power play, looking to tie the game. Hurdle, Eichel, Stone, Marner, and Dorofia. 5 forward, the shot by Eichel blocked. Now recovered by Stone to the line to Marner. Looking for his first goal as a Golden Knight. Centered, but Stone misplays it. That's cleared away. And at the bench, so no delay of game there on San Jose.
No, and Liljegren blocked that shot, and he is in pain at the bench, so a defensive change for the San Jose Sharks. That was a clean win by Hurdle on that face-off. See if Wenberg can do a better job against Eichel here on the other side.
And Eichel kicks it free to the line. Marner quickly on to Stone. Vegas on the power play, looking to tie the game. Fed back to Marner. Now for Eichel. Hurdle goes to the front. Stone for. And then run to the ditch by Goodrow. And cleared all the way down by Wenberg.
For a guy that has 4 goals in 2 games, he doesn't fan on the shot very often so far this year, but he was wide open there, as Mark Stone alluded to earlier.
Golden Knights, as you can see, great numbers in their history against the Sharks. All time, they've lost only 2 games in regulation against San Jose. As Eichel hooks it back for Dorofia. This is Mitch Marner. Now Marner for Hurdle to Stone. 40 left in the power play. As Eichel drifts in for Dorofia to Marner. waiting, shooting one, tipped just wide. Not sure who tipped it, maybe Stone. Eichel in front, and brushed along now for Dorothea. 20 to go in the Smith minor. Hurdle wins a puck battle. And now Marner back of the goal for Stone. Half ball for Eichel. To Hurdle. He was checked. To the line again. Marner across, one-timer. Run on by Dorothea. And a good save by Nedeljkovic. And Smith has returned. And time becoming a factor now with 2:45 to go in regulation. And the Sharks holding a 3-2 lead. Orlov doesn't clear it in. And that's offside as Stone was in ahead of Hurdle.
And you get the sense on that last power play for Vegas, just looking for the perfect play, so much skill. And finally, Marner just says, hey, I'm going to put this to net. He recognizes he has two guys there, and Stone gets a piece of it. And there's Dorofeev. Doesn't get all of it, but right into the chest of Nedeljkovic, who read that play the entire way.
So when will Bruce Cassidy pull his goalie? 2:39 to go. The trend in the NHL, as you know, Cassie, is better early than late.
He's got some momentum here in the offensive zone, but I bet you in the next 45 seconds.
Now Eklund clears one to center. Here come the Golden Knights back in. William Karlsson in there with Smith. In front, tipped, covered by Nedeljkovic. And now Barbashev involved.
Ferraro, he's in there. And this was a tough little save from Nedeljkovic. It kind of fell off the stick of Karlsson. He bobbles it a little bit, and it bounced short side. He had to be really tight to that post. Karlsson, he's on his backhand looking for help, and you see right there, just throws it to net, and you can see ever so slightly Nedeljkovic comes off that post, and the goaltender is pulled for Vegas.
So 2:22 to go, and Schmidt goes off for an extra man. Eichel on the faceoff against Wenberg. Do the Knights have some late game magic? They win it back to Marner. Now Theodore, Dorothea, and he whips that shot wide. Center, off a stick, settled by Marner. Good keep in. And now Liljegren there. Sharks get it. Hoisted high by Wenberg. And that may have hit the scoreboard here at SAP Center. I believe it did.
And Wenberg just shakes his head. He had all kinds of time just to get this down. He's getting some instruction. Watch this huge block by Wenberg. Dorothea, the guy with the hot hand, he just gets a piece of it, which forces it to go a little bit wide. And so does Nedeljkovic. His glove hit that as well.
But that's a break for the Golden Knights. That puck would have been cleared. Now a face-off in the offensive zone.
100%. Wenberg knows that he has to win the draw, and he does.
And it's Eklund there. The 21-year-old gets it to center. Empty net. Tip just wide. Oh, Eklund in front again. And it stays out. How? I don't know. Sharks cannot come any closer to icing the game. As Eichel scores from the blue line. Are you kidding me? Eichel, a weird one, and we're tied at 3.
Can you believe it? I mean, there was twice where I thought Eklund was going to score on the empty net. It stays out somehow, and then an unfortunate bounce. Nedeljkovic just feeling sick about it. And here's the opportunity. Toffoli with a nice pass. Eklund just misses. Then he gets this wraparound opportunity. It's this stick of Theodore that keeps it out. And then just a dump in by Eichel. And look at the bounce. Nedeljkovic going to his left, and it comes back to his right.
It's really hard to believe.
Wow.
At both ends.
Yeah.
Eichel second in as many nights. from across center ice ties it at 18-26.
Vegas didn't have much on that power play. You think all the skill out there, they're going to get a beautiful goal, and then it's just a bounce that goes their way.
And what did Warsofsky say before the game about finishing games?
Yeah.
It was a problem last year.
And you think of the Wenberg situation where he could have just dumped it down, killed some more time, said it's going to be a face-off in the offensive zone, but just such a strange sequence of events.
Chopped away by Colasar, so we've got a brand new game. It's 3-3 with a minute left in regulation time. And here comes the 19-year-old Celebrini. That's dumped in. Hurdle gets the only assist on the game-tying goal at 18-26. On a strange hop from center. Broken up by Orlov. And Wenberg, look out. Nearly a carbon copy at the other end. And Schmidt didn't make that save. Here comes Carlson down his off wing. Centers it. Now Brandon Saad turns. And that shot blocked. 20 left to Foley. And another crazy one. And Schmidt fights it off. What's going on here late in the game?
Why not try it? It's so difficult for goaltenders to make that play. The bounce right in front of them, and Toffoli tries it on that last sequence.
And Jack Eichel, time running down, and we will go to overtime here in San Jose. And a crazy, crazy finish, Cassie.
I mean, that's even just hard to describe. And the key thing now for Nedeljkovic is to refocus, just park that goal and be ready for overtime, because the heat is coming.
Overtime is presented by Icy Hot.
Wow, this third period just had a lot of action, a lot of different things. An unbelievable ending to it. And this 2-on-0, this is the big save by Schmidt that allowed the game to be at 3-2 instead of 4-2. A beautiful play by Theodore, doesn't give up on the play. Eklund with 2 chances, and then this bounce. I mean, Eklund almost scores twice, and all of a sudden it comes back the other way, and Eichel just with a dump in that finds the back of the net.
And as you said, and Nedeljkovic has to regroup after giving up that long bouncing goal. And you know, it was almost going wide. That was right at the red line, but you know, this was almost going wide.
And this really is just a dump-in play. Maybe you get a face-off, maybe you get a lucky bounce, which is exactly what Eichel did, but Nedeljkovic just completely misplays it. It bounces just before him and takes a real funky bounce off the ice. That's just a heartbreaker.
So Hurdle, Stone get assists on the goal by Eichel, and we go to 3-on-3 overtime. Of course, the Golden Knights went to overtime last night at home. Lost in the shootout to the Kings. So will fatigue be a factor here on the second night for the Golden Knights?
And in fairness to Nedeljkovic, he'd made some really key saves just prior to that goal.
Wenberg, Celebrini, and Leddy against Marner, Eichel, and Theodore. And away we go with 3-on-3 overtime. Here it comes Mitch Marner. Possession key in overtime. Jack Eichel trying to split the D. Good read there by former Cup winner Nick Leddy. Won a Cup with Chicago. And now the Sharks have possession. And Macklin Celebrini gets by Eichel. Can't attack on Theodore. Now they regroup. Smith for Celebrini. And again turned away by Theodore. And Smith and his skates kept in by the Sharks. Klingberg with it. For a second, he had Celebrini behind the
wide
defense.
Open. He just couldn't get it to him.
And now Eichel and Theodore 2-on-1. To Theodore for the win. And a save by Nedeljkovic. And now Marner back to get it. What a chance there on a 2-on-1 break. And now Celebrini stole it. Chopped away. And Nedeljkovic out of the goal at the goal line. Or the blue line, lost it. Empty net for Riley Smith. And he scores. What a weird finish. And Smith wins it for the Golden Knights.
And the Sharks are patting Nedeljkovic on the head as he's going back to the dressing room with such disappointment. He comes out to play the puck and just doesn't do a good job of it. It ends up a bounce that goes right up to the stick of Riley Smith, who's all alone in the offensive zone to finish this off. And there you can see, almost hesitates and stops. He has to just, once you make that choice as a goaltender, you got to come all the way. That little hesitation allowed Theodore to step up and make this play. And it's in the back of the net. What a finish, a crazy finish. It looked like
you actually had to see it to believe it, quite honestly.
You can't even describe it, and the Sharks had an opportunity to win this game, and two unlucky breaks. They lose it in overtime.
And Riley Smith with the winner. He won't get an easier goal than that. And all smiles around for the Golden Knights.
And they know they got away with one there. The Sharks played a really good game. Vegas coming in a little bit inconsistent off the back-to-back, but just heartbreak for the San Jose Sharks goaltender.
And Theodore gets the assist on the winner. And remember, he saved the game when he didn't allow Knights or the Sharks to get the empty net goal.
Yeah, never give up on a play.
The Golden Knights, an improbable win. 4-3 the final in overtime. Back to Steve Levy.
All right, John, Cass will join you some later, maybe, some other time. But that's why, John Tortorella, that's why this is a better chair.
Is a much better chair, right?
Behind, how are you? You're the head coach of the San Jose